the ChannelMom Show, celebrating you with Jenny Dean Schmidt.
If you're a busy mom, get someone else to send your personalized cards for much less than a store-bought card and stamp. It's that easy. Just click on Send Out Cards.
If you are tired or feeling like you're overwhelmed and underachieving because you just don't have the time, energy, or support to pursue the dreams that you have for your family, your life, your work, I totally get that. And so does Cheryl Wood. Cheryl describes herself as a wife and mother of 3 who was once frantically running the corporate rat race and desperately wanting to claim time and financial freedom. She says that she understands moms who are frustrated because they want something different but are fearful of taking the risks. Cheryl happens to be an award-winning author, speaker, and trainer who helps men and women to ignite their fearless factor. I love this thing that she's trying to attack the fear, because I think so many people walk around
guilty.
Yeah, guilty of fearful. Yeah. And you've talked to me about that. That's true.
I know.
And fearful of trying to pursue their dreams for failure or for what it's going to do to their life.
Or success.
So yeah, absolutely. So she supports the personal and professional development of moms and women who are ready to give everything they have to win. She's referred to as the fearless living strategist based on her personal journey of taking risks and embracing her fears to a transition. And she says she transitioned from a frustrated mom of 3 to the mission-driven woman claiming success on her own terms. Welcome to the show, Cheryl. We're glad to have you on the ChannelMom Show.
Thank you. I'm loving the conversation, and I'm thrilled to be here.
Oh, good. So glad. Hey, let's just get right to it. Are there millions of moms out there who are wanting to try things or do things or accomplish things in their lives? And I'm even talking about mothering. There are some moms who know they want to go to the next level as a mom and that they're not doing all they want to do for their family or for their husbands. But also outside of that, are there millions of moms out there failing to do it because they're afraid?
Absolutely. Millions. I travel the country speaking at events where there are women and moms, and it's always the woman who looks like she has it all together and she's happy. She's the one usually who's most broken on the inside. And she wants to kind of step out there and take some risks and step way outside of her comfort zone, but it is fear that holds her back. So I feel like as moms, we let fear keep us hostage. You know, we want to do it, we're thinking about it, but we don't go beyond thinking about it. You know, we don't step into action. And really, action is the only prescription for fear.
Absolutely.
That's what I teach moms.
And you said you had a quote on your website, which I appreciated. This is what you said on the website, Cheryl, and this is one thing that grabbed my attention about you, because I think that moms are going to really believe that you understand them based on this quote. What you said was, I understand the desperation of wanting to pursue your passion, but fearing that it will distract you from your current obligations. I understand how it feels to wake up in the early morning hours, brainstorming on ideas for starting or growing a successful business and creating the reality you desire, but instead you feel like you're on spin cycle, going around and around trying to figure out what actually works and what doesn't. And what you say you've learned is that you needed other people, that you couldn't do it alone if you were going to pursue those middle of the night desires and passions for a better life and for a bigger business and things like that. So talk about that.
Oh, yeah. When you know your passion, when it finally hits you, it does not leave you alone. Like, it will keep tapping you on the shoulder and waking you up in the middle of the night until you acknowledge it. And that's what happened to me. But then I had this guilt on the other side, like, oh, well, how can I pursue what I love? And how can it be about me? Because, see, as mommies, we don't want it to be about us.
That's right.
We want to nurture everybody else. We want to care for everybody else. And we don't feel like there should be time for us. So I want moms to get to that place where they say, you know what, I can kind of do both as long as I get a support system and some help. So for me, I have 2 5-year-olds and I have an 8-year-old. So my husband is a big part of my support system. I couldn't go and travel the country and speak and do what I love to empower other women if he wasn't there supporting me. So you got to have that support, whether it's your mom, whether it's your sister, a great friend, somebody who believes enough in the fact that you should have the thing that nurtures your spirit. Somebody who believes so much in your dream, as much as you believe in it, that they're willing to support you to get to that dream.
Oh, and thank God for those people. I have Shell by my side. She has been supporting me with ChannelMom, and I have some other ladies that are also now coming alongside, Rebecca and Monica. I want to say their names because I so appreciate them. My goodness, are we fortunate to have those people who do come alongside us, and my parents support my dream, and my husband definitely supports it. So what would we do without them?
We couldn't do it. We just couldn't do it. And sometimes, I'll be very honest, sometimes they might not even get it. Because I think when you're cut from like an entrepreneurial cloth and you're thinking about pursuing your dream, we think about that for little kids. We tell our kids, oh, do whatever you want, be who you want. But then we grow up and we get bills and we get responsibilities, and we don't think we should do that. So sometimes the people who are supporting you might not fully get it. Like they might be kind of looking at you on the side like, okay, seriously, just go get a real job. But they love you enough that they want to see you at your best. They want to see you develop the best version of you. And because of that, even when they don't get it fully, they still support you.
Yeah. Cheryl, you're amazing. I'm going to open the phone lines in case anybody wants to ask you a question. 303-297-1510. If you have a question for Cheryl about how you can be motivated to pursue your dream if you're stalling. Now, let's talk about that. Procrastination and moms who just think, I can't do it. If I'm going to love on my babies and I'm going to do, and maybe they're a single mom, so they really don't feel like they have time for it. Or if they have a husband, they feel like, I've got to serve him too. How can I possibly take time to pursue my dream, or even pursue, even if it's a hobby? I'm not putting that down either. Or maybe there are moms who want to go to the next level as moms. They want to volunteer in the schools, whatever it is. What makes them procrastinate?
Again, I think it's that feeling of I can't do for others and do for me. I can't be in the equation of my own happiness. You know, my happiness has to be about serving others all the time. We are nurturers and caretakers. Just it's an innate feeling. And that's good. That's great. But I do believe that it's not until we tap into who we really are inside. What makes me tick? What makes me fulfilled and happy? What allows me to create a legacy? When I tap into those things, I become a better everything else. I become a better mom. I become a better wife. Let me tell you, when I was in corporate America running the corporate rat race and dropping my kids off, before the sun came up and not picking them up until the sun went down, I was miserable inside. I was smiling, but I was miserable on the inside. And nobody knew that because I was still doing all the stuff I was supposed to do. That was expected of me. But once I decided to take the risk and jump in with both feet and give this thing of being an entrepreneur a shot, it changed my world, but it also changed my husband's world and my kids' world. Because now, guess what? They get to see mommy who's happy. They get to see the mommy who's fulfilled. They get to see mommy who wakes up every morning and loves what she does, not the miserable mommy who's doing what she has to do and is just kind of, broken inside.
Yeah. Shel, did you have a question?
So what would you do to get pushed over that cliff? You've got the idea in your head. You've got the dream in the middle of the night.
It was just frustration. I think every woman gets to a place where she's just like, enough is enough. You've heard a woman say that, like, enough is enough already. I was at the enough is enough already. And for me, a big piece of it was, what legacy am I creating? I lost my dad 3 years ago. He was only 59 years old. He passed of a massive heart attack in his sleep. And it was kind of an extra wake-up call on top of what I was already feeling to say, life isn't promised tomorrow. And whether I'm here until I'm 90 or not, I want to be able to look back and say, wow, this is what I left for my kids. They saw the best of me. I let them see the best of me. And I would only get to that if I was doing what I really, really loved. So I had to take that leap of saying it's not going to be perfect. I may mess up. I may fail. I may disappoint myself sometime in the process, but I'd rather take the risk and see what I can do than not take it at all.
Oh, and we have to remind ourselves of that all the time. And I want to say something, Cheryl. You said something key in there, because I think a lot of moms who are maybe tuning in today, and I pray to God that some moms have tuned in because they're supposed to hear you say this today to be motivated. But we feel guilty because we feel like we're maybe going to be taking some time away from our kids or our husband. But in fact, you're right. We're leaving them a legacy. If we just keep on and just doing that thing that we don't love because we feel like it's the responsible thing to do, our kids don't get to see us thrive and grow and do the thing that God created us to do. And what a great thing to be able to show your child. And let's be honest. No, I'm not suggesting you run out and do 70 hours on your starting your dream business. But I am saying pursue your dream, and you are going to be doing something for your kids by doing that, right?
Absolutely. And I didn't start out as this international speaker. I like to say that because it sounds so sexy. Oh, she's an international speaker. Yeah. She's an author. That sounds sexy. But it took a lot of work to get there. And when I started almost 4 years ago, I started as a T-shirt business while I was still working a full-time job. Yeah. So it's not glamorous. It's not glitzy. You may not get what you want right away. But I believe if you take the steps, take the risks, that you get to where you're supposed to be eventually, and you have to be willing to take that process. And my kids have watched mommy take that process. They've watched me become this fearless woman who refuses to let anything hold me back from my God-given greatness. And it's affected them. My daughter's 8. Now she's coming to me saying, well, mommy, you're an author. Why can't I write my own book? You sure can write your own book.
Right.
You know, so she sees me living my passion, and I think it's sparking in her this thing where, okay, well, I can find what I love and I can do it instead of just kind of being on autopilot in life and doing what's expected of you.
That's right. And your kids cheer you on. They learn how to be a team
They
player.
do.
Yeah, my kids sit down and watch the numbers, or they watch, kind of how much how many viewers we're getting on Channel Mom, and they celebrate it. And,
They do.
And they learn to be part of a team, don't they? I mean, that's a good thing for them
They
to.
do. My kids, if I'm getting ready for an event, they're like downstairs, Mommy, do you need me to put some books in a bag? Or, hey, just a few, in August 17th, I decided to be really fearless and jump out of a plane. I did my first skydive, 12,000 feet in the sky, and my kids were there to watch me. And as soon as I'm landing on the ground, they're like cheering me on, like, you did it, Mommy, you did it.
That is awesome.
They do become a part of the team.
That is awesome. We're going to have you come into the the third segment rather, and just chat a little bit more with us before we go to one more guest. But if anybody has a question, this woman is a master motivator, so let her motivate you in your life. 303-297-1510 if you want to talk to Cheryl. And I'm sure she can help you. But just as we're going into this next break, Cheryl, for about a minute, can you just, if there's a mom listening today, how do you encourage her to get over that hump where she thinks, I just can't do it. I just don't believe in myself. I'm too afraid.
I think it's just about, even when you don't believe, keep telling yourself some type of positive reaffirmation. Because when you first start saying it, you're not going to believe it. But the more you say it, you will start to believe it. Your subconscious will take over. It's almost like a habitual liar.
Yeah.
When they first start telling lies, the more they tell those lies, they start to believe their own lies. Well, it's the same way with your subconscious. If you keep telling yourself positive things, I can do it, I'm enough, I'm worth it, I can change my life, then it will happen eventually.
Yeah, and because they're natural-born nurturers, they can remind themselves that they could help somebody else.
Yeah.
They may be ripping off somebody else by not pursuing what God has called them to do, because they could help all those people.
When you let your light shine bright, unapologetically and without regret, you stand in the gift that you've been given. It gives another woman or mom permission to do the same, because then she looks at you and says, wow, if she can do it with 3 kids and a husband and this and that, then why can't I do it? I could do it too.
That's right. You can mentor other moms that way. And quickly, what is your website? And then we're going to come back to you here in about a minute. But what's your website so people can track you down and find out how they can get more motivated by you?
Absolutely. It's www.CherylEmpowers.com. www.CherylEmpowers.com.
That's just awesome. Cheryl does some great stuff, and she really has a heart for helping moms, Cheryl, because she was in that place. I mean, I know you've been in that place, Shelley.
I know. I come in and out of it.
Yeah, you do. And then you go back to that place, you're like, well, I can just get by.
Right.
It's true. It's so true. Okay, so more with Cheryl coming up.